Hello all of you beautiful people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and when it comes to video games, achievements have been baked into the very core of the experience, and to be honest, there's not much we wouldn't do in order to unlock them, as is proved by this list, because sometimes, well, video games made us get properly nasty. So let's take a look at them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 disgusting video game achievements you should be ashamed of. Oh, and by the way, this is definitely not safe for work. Number 10. TURD Burglar. Duke Nukem Forever. Nobody plays a Duke Nukem game in the pursuit of good taste, though Duke Nukem Forever truly goes beyond the pale with its infamous TURD Burglar achievement. The game begins with the player taking a leak in a urinal, but those inquisitive few who have taken a look around the bathroom might discover some deposits that are left in a couple of cubicles by some truly wretched people. Now, for some godforsaken reason, the game also gives you the option to pick up an oversized chunk of poo, swiftly triggering the aforementioned achievement. And if that's not fun enough for you, you can always throw the turd around the bathroom, prompting Duke to quip, "A turd in the hand is worth two in the bush." What does that even mean, Duke? What are you talking about, you colossal f***head? Duke Nukem Forever might have been a colossal disappointment in so many ways, but at least it evidently mastered the dubious art of fecal flinging. Good to see the developers' energies were being channeled in all the right places then. Number 9. Puking Rally. Dead Rising 2 off the record. Blood and vomit are never, ever going to be a good mix, but that's exactly what you'll need to spill in order to unlock the Puking Rally achievement in Dead Rising 2 off the record, which is low-key the best game in the entire franchise. Do not at me, because you know I'm right. All you need to do to pop this is chug 3 alcoholic beverages in a row, which will cause Frank to spew his guts up all over the place. At this point, you just gotta coax a zombie over to your position and lure them specifically over your pet pile of vomit. If you do this just right, the zombie will slip over in the former contents of your stomach, unlocking this achievement. Even the description is, well, pretty judgy though, saying, "Got a zombie to slip in a puddle of vomit." Classy move. Number 8. SCROTALITY. Dead to Rights Retribution. Cult classic third-person action and Dead to Rights Retribution boasts an achievement sure to leave anyone owning a crotch crossing their legs and squirming in anguish. While playing as protagonist Jack Slate's canine companion Shadow, you can pop yourself an easy cheeve by going to town on a goon's nether regions with a groin takedown attack. The game spares little detail in depicting Shadow chowing down on an enemy's knackers, with the dog biting down with enough force to drag the poor sap up off the ground as their most private region is permanently transformed. The understandably agonizing screams don't help quell the abject horror that is on display either. No matter how desensitized to video game violence you might be, this attack, well, it just feels personal. Number 7. Major Cannibalism. The Forest. Survival game The Forest sees the player stranded on a remote peninsula after surviving a plane crash, where they must then create a shelter and, well, avoid the mutant cannibal tribe that's residing within. But in a rather unexpected turn, players themselves are able to experiment and see what the other white meat tastes like by indulging their own cannibalistic curiosity. Though you can unlock the minor cannibalism achievement by eating a single human enemy, which is defined by eating 2 cooked arms and 2 cooked legs, you can indeed go the whole revolting hog by gunning for the major cannibalism achievement. To pop this, you'll need to eat an entire family, requiring you to kill 6 cannibals and then cook and eat a minimum of 12 arms and 12 legs. Yikes. Considering the rather nauseating repetition of hacking 24 limbs off, then roasting them, hanging them up to dry, and then devouring them one by one, the game makes sure you know how disgusting it is to earn this one. And if you manage to just randomly unlock this without using a guide, you probably need to speak to someone. Number 6. Hold My Hair. Watch Dogs 2. This is the second and final puke-related entry on this list, I promise. Watch Dogs 2 strikes a far more cheerful and freewheeling tone than its rather gritty and pretty dull predecessor, feeling much more like a Saints Row game, and that is mostly for the better. And if your curiosity prevails, you might find yourself inadvertently popping the Hold My Hair achievement, which is unlocked by using your in-game camera phone to snap a selfie of an NPC vomiting. You can find blackout drunk people all over the map, particularly around the Oakland Pier area, though you may have to follow them for a little while before they finally bend over and blow chunks all over the pavement. This achievement can be a little imprecise to pop, so hunters desperate to do so will probably end up with a photo gallery full of drunk people that are dry heaving on the street, which in itself is utterly disgusting. Number 5. Dastardly, Red Dead Redemption. Like pretty much every Rockstar video game, Red Dead Redemption makes no bones about the fact that you are playing as a highly morally questionable character, but even then, players can take this to some pretty grim extremes. The legendary Secret Dastardly achievement can be popped by committing a most heinous act of violence against a totally innocent party, and that is indulging in a classic Western bad guy trope of using a lasso to hog-tie a woman, placing her on some train tracks, and remaining nearby as she's then exploded into a bloody missed by an oncoming train. Sadly, in this case, there is no grizzled, gritty hero around to save the day. Again, true to form for Rockstar, the developers made no effort to shy away from or indeed minimize the bloody outcome. Anyone who keeps watching will witness the poor woman in question get instantly pulverized into a crimson shower of rather meaty chunks, which is great if you are looking to answer the question of what would happen when human flesh gets stress tested by a steam train locomotive. The answer is body jam. Number 4. R. Kelly's PROTEGE, Postal 2. Now, achievements don't get much more vile than this, and you have been warned. The highly politically incorrect Postal 2 is entirely consumed with being as tasteless and irresponsible as possible, and to that end it included an achievement named R. Kelly's PROTEGE, which is unlocked when players urinate on an NPC until they're sick. Now, if you know much about R. Kelly at all, you're probably aware why this achievement received his namesake, and as such it's one of the most stomach-churning goals that you can actively seek out in a video game. That said, considering how thoroughly the game encourages you to urinate on pretty much anyone and everything in your sight, you're quite likely to end up popping this sooner or later regardless. Number 3. Bros Before Foes, God of War Ascension. Now, God of War Ascension may have been a lesser spin-off from the main franchise, but it certainly doesn't let up in the grotesque gore department. You see, players can unlock the Bros Before Foes trophy by escaping the Fury ambush in the game's 20th chapter, the Gauntlet of Apollo. After defeating the Furies, a cutscene will play where Kratos grabs one of them, stomps them in the face, and then effortlessly impales them on a nearby spike as blood free flows out of their wound. Now, once the rest of the cutscene is played out, where Kratos is rescued, the trophy will pop, rewarding the player for dealing with the Furies, well, pretty successfully. But things get a little grosser when you consider that the trophy was originally called Bros Before Hoes in review copies of the game, prompting significant backlash from the gaming community per its misogynistic implication. SCE Santa Monica responded quickly though, patching the trophy the very same day the game hit storefronts. Number 2. Wasteland Chef, Mad Max. Now, beggars can't be choosers when you're trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and adventurous eaters in Avalanche's Mad Max game will be duly rewarded with the Wasteland Chef achievement. You see, while journeying around the world, you'll periodically find rotting corpses that are filled to the brim with maggots, which can offer up some unconventional and obviously revolting nourishment to a famished Max. Upon approaching the body, you'll be presented with a prompt to eat the maggots that are residing in what remains of it. In turn, this will pop the achievement and treat the player to a brief stomach-churning animation of Max gobbling up a handful of maggots. Cheers, mate. I mean, yes, it could have been a bit worse. He could have actually gone full cannibal and eaten an actual human like the protagonist in the forest, but still, handful of maggots, mate. No thanks. And number 1, the NUTCRACKER. Sweet. Sniper Elite 4. The Sniper Elite franchise is much loved for its nauseatingly brutal X-ray camera system, which will show an on-target bullet ripping through the victim in X-ray fashion, chronicling their innards becoming, well, very much outards. This includes the ability to snipe enemies directly in the testicles and watch as their balls literally explode, but the game has a no less revolting achievement for those who like to take care of business a little bit more up close and personal. First off, what you've got to do is find an enemy and shoot them in the foot with a pistol, causing them to drop to the floor. After this, you need to pull out your rifle and blast them in the nuts, exploding their crotch region into a red-stained mess. In addition to unlocking the achievement, the NUTCRACKER Sweet, you'll get the words testicle shot proudly displayed across the screen in recognition of your uniquely savage act. Cheers? And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 disgusting video game achievements you should be ashamed of. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you want to chat to me further about all disgusting achievements and things like that, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice either here on YouTube or on Twitch, where I do my streaming outside of work, and it'd be great to see you over there. Warhammer 40k battle reports, live streaming old retro video games, and much, much more. But before I go, I just want to say one thing, my friend. Treat yourself with love and respect, my friend. You listening to this video, you're not disgusting. You're a lovely human being filled with a good soul, and I want you to go and live a healthy and happy life, so treat yourself with love and respect because you bloody well deserve it, alright? And do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise, okay? You're a massive ledge, now go out there and smash it. As always, I've been Jules, you have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.